for 3 whole minutes without being interrupted. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John, and I am the best man. An honour which I'd like to thank Kev for now, as he may soon be changing his mind. It's traditionally the best man's speech to wind up, demean, and even humiliate the groom. And I plan to keep with tradition by making this the most embarrassing and uncomfortable 10 minutes of Kev's life. But before we go any further, I'd like to thank Kev and Kay on behalf of the bridesmaids, Nina and Hannah, our darling flower girl Martha, and the ushers, Phil, Rob, Mike, Dave, Carl and Nick, for the kind gifts they received earlier. They're very much appreciated. Although I must say, I don't agree with rewarding people whose sole contribution to the wedding is to stand around pouting all day after having spent hours doing their hair and makeup. I mean, how hard can it really be to be an usher? I'd also like to thank Kay, on behalf of Kay's family, for managing to get through the entire ceremony without shouting at the vicar. Thanks for that, man. In particular, I'd like to thank Reese Wynn, the cameraman, for putting that camera right there. Really. Thank you so much. But seriously, I would like to thank Kev and Kay on behalf of all their guests for inviting us to this wonderful location to share in the joy of their marriage day. So thank you both very much. Now Kev, you're a lucky man. You've married Kay, who's beautiful, smart, funny, warm, loving and caring. And she deserves a good husband. So thank God you married her before she found one. None of you will know this, but I've actually already congratulated Kev. Kev, I said to him, well done, I'm proud of you. Cherish this day. You'll always look back on it as the greatest day of your life and the most fun you've ever had. Fitting words, I thought, at the end of a fantastic stag do. As many of you will know, Kev met Kay at Henley Regatta, a posh and exclusive annual gathering that attracts many high flyers, members of the nobility, darlings of society, the elite, the rich, the beautiful, and Kev. But when they first started dating, Kev was already in a serious long-term relationship. After they'd been going out for not very long, Kay laid it on the line and made it clear that she was not going to play second fiddle. So it was, with much sadness, Kev had to leave his long-standing first love, Stella. You stole my joke there. Weeks of spending this. Tradition dictates I should say a few words about what makes for a happy marriage. Well, I'm not married, so I can't talk about marriage directly, but what I can offer is some advice about how to create a happy relationship between man and woman. The 2 keys to a happy relationship are understanding and communication. So, Kev, you need to understand women and how they communicate, and I find the following to be a good guide. If a woman says the word nothing, she actually means something, and you'd better watch out. The statement, if you think that's best, really means that at some point in the near future, you're going to be in big trouble. The word fine the word fine is the word that women use to end an argument when they feel that they're right and you need to shut up. But you are forbidden to use the word fine, particularly to describe how a woman looks. So Kev, if you ever hear the 3 terms, nothing, if you think that's best, and fine, all within a few minutes of each other, remember that you yourself have 3 terms to fall back on. Yes, darling, and buy the shoes. In preparing this speech, I asked a few of Kev's closest friends to help me prepare a list of all the embarrassing scrapes and situations he's got himself into over the years. That turned out to be one hell of a list. So I created a short list of some of the embarrassing situations and scrapes that Kev's got himself into over the years. And that turned out to be one hell of a list too. So I created a short list, and I'd just like to read a few choice events from that list now.
Are we not short of time now?
I'm only kidding, Kev. I wouldn't dream about bringing up any such event. So I certainly won't mention the time on your 21st birthday. When Kev fell over in a club and took out a group of Kev fell over in a club and took out a group of people who were sitting nearby. And that while I was apologising to those people on Kev's behalf, he fell over again onto the same group of people. Nor will I be mentioning the time one bonfire night when Kev fell off a wall and the resulting bang to the head left him fluent in Afrikaans. And I certainly won't mention the time in a pub in Sheffield called The Slug when Kev fell over a booth. I fell over an entire booth. In particular, I won't mention the time only a few months ago when Kev fell over in my bathroom and broke his ankle. The year after Kev and Kay met, they invited a number of their friends, myself included, to Henley Regatta to celebrate their anniversary with them. We were happy to attend, so we arrived laden with strawberries and cream, a large picnic, and an even larger amount of wine, which we soon got stuck into. One of Kay's friends had brought her brand new handbag with her, a very expensive handbag by some top designer, Prada, Gucci or similar, and had placed the handbag underneath our table for safekeeping. A few hours later, Kay's friend was very upset when she returned to the table, only to find the handbag was full of cream. Each person in our group was asked in turn if they knew how the bag had become so full of cream, and each person denied any knowledge. The only clue to the culprit was that Kev's face was absolutely covered in cream. Just like when an infant first attempts to feed itself, it was everywhere. But astonishingly for the men in the group, the girls didn't latch on to this solitary piece of evidence, and the culprit has always gone unknown to Kay. And just for good measure, later that day, Kev fell off his chair. But for all his trips and falls, everyone that knows Kev knows that he has a heart of solid gold. He's a great guy, caring, considerate, entertaining, uplifting, occasionally sensitive, often insightful, and always full of life. In the 10 years I've known him, he's always been a brilliant friend, and we've had lots of fun together. We've laughed a lot, we've parted a lot, and Kev, it's always been a great pleasure to call you my friend. I know that you and Kay will both make each other very, very happy for many, many years to come. Kev and Kay, on behalf of everyone here, I want to thank you for all the great times we've had and all the great times we still have ahead of us. You both know how to enjoy every hour of your lives, and I want to thank you for sharing them with us. You're among friends who want the very best for you both, and we wish you all the happiness in the world. It just remains for me to propose a toast to the new Mr. and Mrs. Hunter. So if you would all be upstanding.
Do we stand up? No.
Except for you, I guess.
Stand up.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bride and groom. Bride and groom.